Hi everyone and welcome to my place. I have a big surprise for all of those who are interested in flowers of the past, because today we are up to Victorian arrangements of the past. And I've written you a lovely story, so just click down the bottom and have a read about it. But it was the time when Queen Victoria was around. Now, they were very prudish about the way that they went, and society had all of these codes of rules that you could and you couldn't do. But flowers were their passion, and they were big and they were lush and they were jammed packed. And in most cases, the vases were in twos because they loved order and symmetry. So I have gone from one side of the world to the other, seeking twin matching Victorian styled and inspired vases. And unfortunately, I love you all, but I wasn't about to sell a kidney to get the vases that are very expensive. But what I did do was I applied a little bit of thought, and I thought, you know what, with the latest technology, we can create our own. So here are the vases, and I absolutely love the whole project. It has been fabulous, from finding the glasses, now the vases. Now these are just a little bit too tall, but you know that I'm a big girl and I'm very excessive. Am I excessive? Yes, I am. I'm very excessive and I love beautiful big arrangements. So the first step is to share how to create these vases. Now I also wanted milk, the old-fashioned milk glass, but I couldn't find it. But what I did find was this, which is the base colour here, because I also I didn't want to paint it with my chalk paint. I wanted it nice and smooth and clean, like ceramics or like glass and what they used to do. So I found this glass, which is actually, I don't know how, whatever they do when they do it, you know, it comes out nice and milky white. So I'm really pleased with that. Now that's the first thing, you've got to find your vases. And I just suggest that if you're going to do it, do two and give one away to a friend, because they're beautiful, beautiful gifts, I think. The next thing that you have to find are these beautiful, beautiful rub-ons. They come all ready to go. There's lots and lots of designs and styles, and I put the brand name that I've seen them. They're all over the market. They're everywhere. If I can get them in New Zealand, you guys can get them wherever you're living. Okay, so they come in lots of styles, and it's just a matter of deciding which style you want to use. So, and I used two here. So I've used this one, this pack here, which I've stuck on the outside, and the other one was this darling little rose here. Now, there's tips and tricks on how to approach this. And you can cut these shapes out to whichever shape you want to. Now, they say that it sticks to most surfaces, but let me tell you, that is not actually the truth. So, what I did was I called on the engineer, who's very, very handy when it comes to doing any kind of getting things to stick, because he knows glues better than I do. And what he suggested was I get a piece of 180 grit sandpaper, a little bit of water, and then what you do is you just go over the outside of your vase, and what we're doing is we're just roughing it up a little bit, but you can't actually see it. So the little fibers in this are so fine that you can't see it, but so it's just getting rid of that high sheen on the outside. Now you have to go over the whole thing and then completely dry it. Now, hopefully you can hear this. This is the base of the glass, and when I run my finger across that, I'll shut up for a minute, you can hardly hear any sound. But from where I have roughened it up, can you hear that? It's just a little, it's quite scratchy from where I've applied the lovely sandpaper to it. So that gives us an even better surface on which to fix our embellishment. Now, I found that working on an old towel was the best way forward, and then you can just cradle your vase into there so it's not going to move around. The best way to do it is also to have it laid down. Now, inside the pack, as I said, you get all these lovely little these lovely little transfers. You get the leaves and the buds and everything you need is already in the pack. So usually you get 3 sheets within the pack, especially with the smaller ones. Now it's just a matter of taking your scissors and just cutting around the outside, cutting away. I found that cutting away as much of the paper was actually better. I want you to know that if I had my glasses on, my life would be so much better here. So I'm going by feel. So make sure that you cut all the surplus that you don't need off. And the other little thing tip I need to give you is we're actually going to be sticking something flat onto a round surface. So the least amount of paper that we have, the better it is going to be. I can't tell you how much fun I've had doing these. And this is for all you that have asked for flowers of the past, and those of you who are looking for period flowers to go into your beautiful historic homes. Okay, now inside the pack it comes with this little stick. You can either use that stick, or I suggest you use a 2-inch rubber roller. So much easier. So the first thing to do is to take that backing off, and then you're left with this, and then it's just a matter of deciding where you want that to be, and just gently, well actually I'm being quite firm here, just push that down onto here, and then using your roller, just very gently just roll that across. And I need you to know that about now I'm going to have to get my glasses because I can't see, and I need to be able to see this because this is fine precision work. So you just keep rolling that, and you'll hear it sort of going click, 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 and that's where the top sheet of paper is very slowly starting to lift off. And once you get, now when I lifted that, see how that's just lifted off? That means that I need to apply a little bit more pressure. Now it does take a few minutes to just get it transferred over, but what I found was when you use this, it's also, you're just doing like little areas at a time, whereas with this you get to do big areas like so. Right, the next thing to do is very, very gently. Now that hasn't quite stuck, so I'll just give that a little push down with that. Oh, I hate it when it doesn't do it. But hold on. It's doing it. So it's just a matter of, you just have to keep rubbing, and if it isn't quite sticking, you might find that you need to just, here we go. Here we go. Right, so see how that's just slowly starting to, I told you, it's a bit fiddly, but look, I've got the patience of a flea, so if I can do it, you can do it. And just keep rubbing that until, and then I put the roller underneath it, and you just keep going until, see that bit area there, it isn't quite doing it, so just use this one here. Sometimes you have to apply just a little bit of pressure to do it. Oh, I ripped it. So look, just bear with me while I just transfer this over. So and you'll see that like I've been a bit rough there, so a little bit has just stayed on there. So just go back and just apply a bit more pressure, and then just as you're going, oh, it's such good fun. I love doing this. And I'll just use that again because I obviously have not done this properly. And then that just a little bit in there. See, so it's just a little bit of just applied effort. And then it's these little bits around here that you just have to, oh, there, it did it again. Oh, it's making me all hot and bothered. See how that just all flips across? So I'm just going to use this now and just apply a little bit more effort to just slowly. Oh, look at that. Oh, I love it. I know it's probably as boring as watching me do this, but I just thought that having done this on both those vases, let me tell you that sometimes they come off really easily and sometimes they don't. But when I first started, nothing came off and I was beside myself and thought, right, that's it. I'm not showing you how to do this because it's just not working. But then when the engineer decided I needed to get a bit more grip on it, I thought, well, okay then, he knows more about these things than me. Ta-da! I know. I just love it when it comes together. And then just go over with your roller and you can see where I was a bit, see in here where I was a bit rough and into there, that you shouldn't have any wrinkles on it. So it's just, what I suggest you do is just have a little bit of, just spend a bit of time until you get it right. Now I'm just gonna, I want to show you that it with a leaf and how you can just, hold on, let me just cut that bit there off. So the rougher the surface is, the more scratchiness you get, the better it's going to be. And then you can just cut these little bits up, and where I've made that little mistake there, of which I'm hating myself now, what I'm going to do is I just put that onto there like that, give that a little rub up, and just keep going over it. If there's any bits that you find that aren't quite up to your liking, or you've been, as I have been, a little bit rough, and just roughen those up, and then just getting into the, see how that's just not, that's not stuck onto there, and you know why it hasn't stuck on there? Because I can't hear that scratch. So if you've got scratchy surface, make sure that this is really scratchy. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to lift that off very carefully and then do a little bit more sanding. See how it just lifted up? And now what it's done is it's ruined that bit. So just going into there, scratch that up. Well, I've ruined that leaf anyway because, you know, and you might as well just see my bits that went wrong. Hold on, now it's better because I can hear it. So where's that little leaf go? Oh no, I've lost my leaf. Oh, for goodness, there it is. Phew. Let's just go back now. So where I've made that mistake, putting that onto there like that, and hopefully this time it works. So the rougher it is, the better it's going to be. And I know that I've done a terrible job of this, but you can see a little bit of applied pressure there, and then just lifting that up. Oh, there, got it. Oh, for goodness sake. And then that should just, it's still not tacky enough. So that's, the lesson is make sure that that's tacked up. But anyway, I'm not doing any more now because I've already proved that I can do it, and all the pitfalls and all the ins and outs and why you should and why you shouldn't have all been completely covered. Now, the next thing is if you want to put a little bit of gold leaf onto that, because they had lots of gold leaf, all I did was I put, and I'll show you how to do this. Just put a little bit of the, no, I'm not going to show you how to do that because I'll just make a mess of it. Just pour in the adhesive, and I've showed you how to do the gold leaf. Put the gold leaf size into a flat little saucer like so, and then what I did was I just turned it upside down, put the glue into it, held it up until the glue had all dripped off, because you don't want any running down the sides. Then just leave it, and then just lay the top surface onto the gold leaf so that you get the little bit of gold there. And you can see where I was a bit rough, but goodness me, it was such a trial and error and tribulations to achieve it. But it can be done because I already did too. So just make sure that you adhere to all of those little tips that I've shown you. Take your time, and I can guarantee you'll have a perfect finish. Oh, right, next time I see you, when I've had a lie down and a cup of tea, I'm going to share how to put flowers into this so that you can have flowers that are perfect for your period home. See you again another day. Bye for now.